Okay, so this is your Photoshop interface. I believe once you load up your Photoshop, your interface should look exactly like mine. Color swatches, gradient patterns, and so on and so forth. So we'll dive straight into understanding our interface. Okay, so before then, I would create a new document. All right, so I'll go to File, New. Okay, so I'll begin by explaining this interface. So we have recent, saved, photo, print, illustration, web, mobile, film, and video. Okay, so most of the times you are going to be using, if you are printing, you'll be using the print. Okay, but there's still a way around this. If you're printing, you could just choose CMYK from here. And if you are designing something for the web, let's say for social media, you could just stick with RGB. Here we have our units. For example, if you choose in pixels, I can say, okay, let me design something 1000 by 1000, which is a square graphics. And here we have our resolution. Of course, for resolution, if you're printing, it's going to be 300. And if you're not printing, let's say RGB, you're going to be using 72 or 150. So let's get it straight now. 150 RGB, not printing for the web. CMYK 300, I am printing. Okay, take note of that. Okay, let's go back to finish up. So we have, of course, your background content. Artboard should be white. I feel in here you can choose whether it is going to be portrait or landscape, but since we are doing the square graphics, that will not reflect here. Let's say I decide to do 1920 by 1080, which is your resolution for videos. So I can then, you can see there's a swap 1080 with a 1920 then. Okay, so if I'm good to go, I'm okay with what I have here, I just click create. So that is how it works. So this is your workspace in Photoshop. We have our menu, file menu, edit, image, layer, type, select, filter, 3D, view, window, help. Then there's something we call panels, right? So here is called your panel, color panel. So just add panel to whatever is named here. So this is your color panel, swatches panel, gradient panel, patterns panel, library panel, adjustment, and so on. Here we have our toolbar, okay, or toolbox, depending on how you want to call it. So we have just like a carpenter who, whenever he wants to work, uses the nail. There's a place where the nails are kept. We have the hammer and so on and so forth. Here we have our move tool, quick tool, and all of those. We'll dive into this in a moment. Is that fine? Here we have other tools there. So I think that is that basically with the interface. So from here you have your file. Sometimes whenever you see should I say a triangle with its edge facing the right, it means when you hover over it, you have other options. We have the export, the generate, to automate, to script, and so on. So these are all what we call menu, image, menu, layer menu, and so on and so forth. So I believe you get the idea. So I think we should just dive straight into setting up our workspace. Okay, if you look at if you come to your Windows menu, come to workspace, you're going to see something called Samuel favorite. When you click that, you will observe that my workspace looks like this. I love working like this most of the time, so we will just set up our workspace and call it a day for this video. So I go back to, I think it should be in your essentials, and your workspace should look like this. Okay, so how did I get my workspace to look like that? Very easy. Now, how does Photoshop and other Adobe packages works? When you go to your Windows, whatever is active, we have a check mark. Take for instance, I have my adjustment here. So when you go to Windows, you're going to be having the adjustment there too. We have the libraries there. So when you check there, our library should be ticked. So I will call things in and so on and so forth, depending, okay, to the need. Take for instance, if I need my character panel here, all I need to do is to come to my Windows, scroll down, and I should have it there. Of course, we're now having the character panel added. So many times I love having my layers path, okay, and maybe an property panel up here, so that I can have a go or a look at all my layers. So what I do most of the times is I take off what I don't need. I don't need to learn. You can try that out if this is your first time of using Photoshop. I close that up. I take off the libraries. I close it up. I take off the adjustment. I close that off for now because I want to have my workspace to look like that, to look like what I can use for my graphic design. Let's say it's more like, okay, the tools I need, the panels I need for anything I want to do in the software. Okay, so I think I prefer my color. Now let's drag this a bit. Just hover over here, you drag it out. I love my colors to be here. Just drag. If you drag it out, you can have it here. You can then drag this in again. Bring in my gradient. I think I will love, all right, I will love my layers to be here. So I'll go to my Windows, go to layers. I'll put that there. Here I can bring my patterns in here. I would love to have, let's say, paths. Yeah, very important for me. Now this is just my choice, and in the long run, when we are going to be designing our flyers or doing practicals in Photoshop, you know, reaching out to all of this will be very easy. That is the idea. So I think, of course, I would love to have my character styles too. I'll bring that in there. Okay, just stretch that in, and let's check. Okay, I think so that is the idea. I think what I have for now is good. Okay, I need my properties too. Okay, properties. Now my properties is here. I love it to be here. Okay, so the idea is you must not use or follow what I'm doing. You can set up your workspace in the way you like, but this is how I do it. So this, the way I work, right? I love this just being like this, like so, whereby then I will drag this a bit here. Okay, like so. So I have my layers, my properties, my path. So with this now, to be on the safer side, I need to save my workspace, because if I let's say go off when I'm coming back, like close the software, when I'm coming back, I'm going to lose all this setting. So what I will do is come to Windows, come to Workspace, and then move on to new workspace. You can see I have my somewhere favorite. So let's say new workspace. I'm going to call this, let's say, second favorite, and then click save. Okay, so let's say I go off, or maybe I'm using this workspace, let's say I'm using motion workspace, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to go to a workspace that I've saved before. Just click Windows, Workspace, and then second favorite, and back to my workspace. So I believe you get the idea. So I think we'll stop here for this video. This is introduction to your workspace and understanding panels and so on and so forth. So see you in the next video. Thank you.